Hi, everybody. Welcome back again to Janet. Now we move on to the Middle East. The big bombs are falling all over Iran as Iran and Israel go head to head over Israel strikes on Iranian nuclear assets. Today is day 6 of that conflict. But the genesis of the conflict can be traced back to a phone call which President Trump had with President Putin of Russia about a fortnight back. Before we go on to the phone call, I take the opportunity to welcome our strategic affairs analyst, Colonel Alice Bliss, once again onto our program. Hi, Alice. How are you doing?
Hi, Rajiv. Absolutely fine. Thank you.
Would you like to throw some light on that phone call between President Trump and President Putin that took place about a fortnight back?
Yes, that was a very important phone call, and probably whatever things which you are seeing in the canvas of the globe have a direct impact on that. Firstly, the Russia Ukraine war and support to Ukraine is not Trump's idea. And even while he was taking oath as a president of the United States, he had uh, categorically stated that he would end this war. And he got an opportunity and he spoke to President Putin. And probably he has handed over President Zelensky to President Putin. And it's just a matter of time when Ukraine will fall. Primarily, it was an understanding between President Trump and President Putin that Trump leaves Ukraine, and in return, they are expecting that the Russians will not interfere in Iran. Iran became a very important place because of their stated objective of destroying Israel completely by using nuclear weapons. And it was a stated policy, brazen and open, as Prime Minister Netanyahu says, and it means destruction of Israel completely. So, having stated that, and as Prime Minister Netanyahu said that they have already built the capability of making nine nuclear bombs. So now just imagine, Netanyahu says that imagine nine nuclear bombs in a country of equal area like New Jersey. So what would have happened? So it was imperative, and under these pressures, I think it is a standoff, a barter, in which Ukraine falls for Russia, and Iran, Iran's nuclear weapons and possibly its regime also would be changed because of this one particular phone call. Now, things as they stand, uh, primarily the Russians had already stated that Ukraine is more Russian than Russia itself. And it is one of the very key aspects wherein the expansion of NATO was not acceptable to Putin. And they have got their agency working, which is the FSB, which we call Federal Naya Sluzhba Bezospasnosti. That is that is Russian Secret Service. So it is just a matter of time whether they decide to eliminate Zelensky, because Europe is not coming to the help of Zelensky, and US is withdrawing a lot of their air defense equipment from Ukraine and bringing it in the Middle East. That is the Central Command of USA in Qatar. In Saudi Arabia, they've got several air bases and military bases. They've got bases in Kuwait, Bahrain, um, Iraq. So they can't take chances because a lot of proxies of Iran and sleeper cells are there who may attack the United States air bases, and they have got deniability also for these kind of things. So it will be a field run, open run for Putin there in Ukraine, while the entire attention comes to the uh, Middle East. Now, the major players are Iran. Their objective was to destroy Israel. Israel says it is their existential threat, and United States will most probably join the war if Israel is found to be weaker or one of their air bases is attacked. There are some body bags which may have to be transported back to the United States in that case, or even their aircraft carrier fleet. If it is attacked, then it would be a red line wherein the US joins the war in the Middle East. The Chinese are also a subtle player. They will not come in direct conflict between Israel and Iran, but one of their cargo planes had clandestinely landed there, and probably it may have certain hypersonic missiles which are being used to penetrate the Iron Dome of Israel, and some of it may fall in the hands of the Houthis who are nearer. And it would just take one nuclear bomb to escalate into a full scale nuclear war, Rajiv.
Yeah. Before we go ahead with this discussion, which I'm sure will be very interesting today, I'd like to once again call upon all our viewers to like and subscribe our channel and do comment on the channel so that the reach of the channel gets extended. We are in the race to increase our subscriber base, which will prolong the reach, which will extend the reach of our channel. Uh, Now, coming back to the topic and the discussion, there's been another statement from President Trump that he had given Iran a 60-day deadline to come into some kind of an agreement with Israel. And the day of the attack, when Israel attacked Iran on in the morning of 13th of this month, it was day 61. Uh, that are you were you in the know of this 60-day period? I'm not. I don't remember hearing Trump giving a 60-day period in advance to Iran. All I know is that some kind of indirect talks were taking place on the nuclear issue in Oman.
Uh, yes, you must have heard the word deal, which has been criticized. President Trump is a businessman, and often it's not a treaty, it is not diplomatic talk, it is deal. So this was the deal that Iran abandons its nuclear program, and in return they will leave it alone and probably help in the civil nuclear program as well. Because you see, at one stage of time before the 1979 revolution, in which Shah of Iran was thrown out and the theocratic ayatollahs took over. So prior to that, there were very good relation between Israel and Iran, and as a matter of fact, a number of nuclear reactors and nuclear program was helped by Israel, in which certain nuclear reactors were also made. So Trump was trying to make a deal or a sort of a treaty in which the IAEA people would have come in, and even President Putin of Russia. He said that all the uranium and other things pertaining to the Iran's nuclear program, that is centrifuges and other things, would be taken by the Russians, and Iran would have been made free. But unfortunately, the regime and the supreme leader in Iran did not agree to it. They've got an obsession that they have to somehow finish Israel. Their very existence is not tolerable to them. I don't know what is the reason. Probably there are some religious or theocratic reasons why they want total annihilation and destruction of Israel. While uh, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, he has got certain amount of steel in him. He's the younger brother of Jonathan Netanyahu of the repute of raid on NTV, which took place in Idi Amin's airbase, wherein they freed their uh, uh, hostages. So Benjamin Bibi Netanyahu says that the Jews have already suffered under the Holocaust once. 80 years ago, and they don't want another nuclear holocaust in the country while he is the prime minister. So his ideas are very clear as of date, and he wants complete destruction of Iranian nuclear program. Rajiv.
Well, whatever it was, the background that you have brought out, uh, the Israeli strikes started on the night of 12th, 13th of this month, and very spectacular strikes uh, aimed at both Iranian, the military leadership, as well as their top nuclear scientists. Uh, in fact, the mind goes back to 1967 when Israel first took out the entire Arab Air Force, comprising of the Egyptian Air Force, the Jordanian Air Force, the Syrian Air Force, on the ground itself in a similar lightning strike. This time they attacked the entire military leadership of Iran. Their precise locations were pinpointed. Their places of stay were compromised. We have very interesting accounts of that. In fact, when the chief of army staff of Iran, Major General Bagheri, was eliminated, it is said that he had received a watch from the Pakistani chief of army staff, General Munir, just about. In fact, I think General Munir was on a visit to Iran in 27th or 28th of May last month, that is. And during that visit, he had presented as his goodwill gesture a watch to General Bagheri, which it is said it has some kind of a transponder attached to it. Would you like to elaborate on it, Colonel Best?
Uh, there is nothing to elaborate. You see, Pakistanis are very slippery people. On one hand, General Field Marshal Asim Munir is sitting there in the US, and we see a lot of slogans being raised by the local Pakistanis there. He is meeting President Trump in the White House, and he also was seen during the Army Day parade. Perhaps he was not invited or whatever the reason, but it is a very, very extended stay in United States. And because of this, there are certain reasons to believe that he's in under some kind of house arrest. Because you see, uh, Pakistani chief in the US staying for so long raises some suspicions. And also, the Iran war is in a very critical phase, because you see, they have got several places where their nuclear installations are there. And the primary one was Natanz, which had a underground three-storied centrifuge, nuclear enrichment centrifuges there, and it has been destroyed. While there are certain centrifuges in Isfahan region also, where not only the centrifuges are there, but there was a facility in which vaporized uranium is converted into solid uranium, which is used as a core of the atomic bomb. So even Isfahan has been taken care of because they were in the desert region, and the Israelis have got various bombs which have got delayed fuse, and they have got certain amount of penetration, blast, and fragmentation. So primarily like GBU 39, uh, which is a bomb, and then spice and rocks. These are all guided bombs and precision guided bombs. And primarily, what the Israelis have done this time, they have learned a few lessons probably from Operation Sindoor of India. And although the penetration is very difficult because they are very thick concrete structures. So what they do is, firstly, they isolate that particular area by bombing the peripheries, and then they fire certain very precision bombs into the air conditioning duct and entrances of these tunnels. So what happens that contamination takes place inside these nuclear facilities. They say that Natanz is destroyed and Isfahan facility is also destroyed. So almost 70% of the uranium is destroyed. Now, nine bombs means they had somewhere around 408 kg of 60% purified uranium. And there is a facility which is there in Fardo. Fardo is near the holy city of Qom. So there are very pious shrines of the Shia people. One is at Mashhad. Mashhad is in extreme north east area of Iran, bordering Tajikistan or Turkmenistan. Turkmenistan. So these are very holy shrine, and primarily here what the Iranians are doing is trying to create a frenzy that the holy sites are being hit and all that, and trying to get all the Islamic nations united. So it is a very, very testing time. Now, under these circumstances, there have been some voices inside Pakistan that some people are saying that we will bomb Israel in case Israel bombs Iran, and probably this may be the reason why the Field Marshal Asim Munir of Pakistan is being held there. Probably they have taken care of medium and long range or intermediate range missile systems of Pakistan, nuclear missile systems of Pakistan. The Americans must be having control. But it is learned that the tactical nuclear weapons may be in the hands of the COAS, that is Chief of Army Staff of Pakistan, or maybe even Corps commanders. So as long as Asim Munir is held hostage till the fall of Fardo, uh, Pakistan will not be able to give any kind of atomic weapon to either Hezbollah, Houthis, or Hamas, or even Iran. So this may be the reason. It is just a good guess, but his prolonged stay there is really one can be very suspicious. Or is he cooperating with Americans against Iran? It has to be seen. So now Iran has got a new enemy, although they have traded a number of missiles previously. So, how is Pakistan acting? It is playing a very dangerous game as of date, because they are seen favoring the United States of America. At the same time, they are hand in glove with the Chinese. The Chinese are helping the Iranians, and also some of the people are showing solidarity with Iran against Israel. So it may happen that Israel extends its Operation Rising Lion against Pakistan, which will be Operation Rising Lion 2. And you may see Mossad getting into that mode wherein they may assassinate the top leadership and scientists and political masters in Pakistan, which are making a frenzy, if they think that they are of any credible threat. If the Americans have got complete control over the Pakistanis, then this Operation Rising Lion 2 may or may not take place. Rajiv.
Well, Natanz and Isfahan taken together accounted for about 75% of Iran's nuclear facilities. I think Fordo has got about 25% of centrifugal capacities. Fordo is supposed to be the most difficult of them all, and it is said that it is beyond Israel's present capabilities to strike deep inside Fordo. This is where I think Prime Minister Netanyahu is pressurizing President Trump to come into the table, to come into action. There will be a requirement of the U.S. stealth B-2 bombers with their deep bunker busting ammunition to take out Fordo. How critical is Fordo to Iran's survival as a nuclear power?
Uh, it is very, very important, because even one atomic bomb in the hands of Iran is going to be of a big problem for Israel. You see, not only the ballistic missiles, which are means of delivery of atomic bomb, a dirty bomb can be carried in a suitcase, and that is where the worry is. And that is why very tight cap is being lid is being placed on Pakistanis. Further, if 25% of enriched uranium is there, and IR6 is the kind of centrifuge, which is very advanced centrifuge, and within very short period of time, it purifies from 60% to 90% uranium, that is U235. So this kind of an isotope production and carrying it by hand by any of the um proxy groups will create havoc in the Middle East, and the entire Middle Eastern sand would turn radioactive, and the entire region would be destroyed. So, probably even the Arabs, the Sunni world, that is the Saudi Arabia, UAE, Qatar, all these people are also very afraid. And Iran has already stated that if I am attacked, I will be attacking Saudi Arabia. And there were some certain rockets which were fired by the Houthis into Saudi Arabia, which destroyed the Aramco oil fields. I have visited refineries and I've seen that how vulnerable it is and the storage of oil tanks. So it is a very, very nightmarish situation in which the Middle East is perched right now. So the fall of Fardo, you may say, is the final nail in the coffin. And until Fardo falls, this Operation Rising Lion means nothing, because one atomic bomb or 10 atomic bomb creates such kind of destruction that the air, water, underground water, everything goes bad. And the size of Israel has got no depth. So, a country which came into existence after 2000 years of curse will be destroyed again. So, it would be a very bad day when this kind of a thing happens. Now, what is to be seen is that Mossad has penetrated inside Iran everywhere, and there is a sister concern or a sub vertical of Mossad which is known as AMAN, Aman, which is having very deep roots inside Iran. So, further, you will require not only the GBU 57 bombs, which are 14,000 kg bombs, they are precision guided and they can penetrate up to 60, 62 feet, wherein this facility lies. But you may see uh, various other factors taking place here, in which uh, B-2 bombers from Diego Garcia may take off and make sure that this facility is destroyed. Now, the only problem was intervention of Russia or China, which by now seems to be uh, almost over, since none of them have shown or opened their cards. Iran is totally isolated, whether it is Islamic world, whether it's their allies, and nobody is helping them right now. So you may find that further falls, there will be a regime change. The son of Shah of Iran is already in the waiting. So he may be installed in a very near future. Rajiv.
Well, the logical step, if Fordo is attacked after Fordo falls, the overthrow of the regime, like you said, you're talking of the the son of the Shah of Iran. He's also Reza Pahlavi. I saw his statement yesterday on TV. He's there. In fact, he's come out. He's spoken to the people of Iran to rise up against the mullahs. But then this is what one of the biggest drawbacks of Western interventions across the globe has been their failure to put in place a strong enough regime to hold the country together. Iran is a country which goes back thousands of years, an ancient civilization, rich culture, and some great people. Great people. Although they have suffered immensely under the mullah regime, but it has got some kind of a stability into Iran, which has enabled them to withstand the Western sanctions. The economy has been doing well. How do you visualize if the regime falls? Uh, how do you see the stability in the Iranian society? Is it going to crumble, or is it going to once again get back on its feet?
Uh, it is a very intricate situation. You see, America doesn't want Ayatollah Ali Khamenei to be removed because he's a credible threat and he's an anchor which the US utilizes to threaten Saudi Arabia, UAE, Kuwait, Bahrain, Qatar, Oman. All these people are afraid, Jordan, of Iran, because they have created a Shia Sunni divide between them. And if the supreme leader of Iran is thrown out and Shah of Iran comes in, there will be peace in the Middle East. So the leverage which the United States of America gets in determining the oil prices, the flow of dollars, like trade is being done in dollars, then that anchor goes away. And then people will say that we are sovereign nations. We don't want your arms. We don't want your uh, military bases. We don't want your air bases. So this will be totally against the requirements of the United States. But at the same time, as I said, it is an existential threat for Israel, and Bibi Netanyahu is very, very adamant that the regime change also takes place. I believe President Putin has offered asylum offer to Ayatollah Ali Khomeini and his entire family, because even the bunker is known. It is only because of U.S. pressure that Israel is not eliminating Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, because their location and their exact size, everything is known to Israel as of date. Rajiv.
How do you see our position, India's position? Because we have very friendly relations and military to military, security to security, very close relations with tie-ups with Israel, and we have got very close diplomatic ties with Iran also. And at times, Iran has been a source of crude oil to India. As far as India is concerned, we have had nothing to complain about Iran. So, how do you see India's position vis-a-vis Iran?
You see, India is in a good position. It has got good relations with Israel, and it has got good relations with Iran as well. So we have got a Haifa port uh, owned by India in Israel, and we have got a Chabahar port owned by India in Iran. And as the dust settles in the larger game plan, what the West and others are also thinking, including India, is that you will make Middle East the main portion wherein the entire manufacturing and data centers and IT hub, what MBS, Mohammed bin Salman of Saudi Arabia, and MBZ, that is of UAE. They are planning in Dubai and other places, so it will be a central trading center, and also it will be a major technical hub. While, as I said, that Pakistan in another 2 decades, it will be choked of water, and there will be a depopulation measure in which the US might be forced to uh, send all these Pakistanis into the Xinjiang province of China or to Europe. So as a result, EU, which is a competitor of USA, would be totally destroyed because Pakistan has got totally radicalized elements within it. And you may find that the Middle East will have IMEC, that is India Middle East Economic Corridor, going right up to Europe, and INSTC, that is North South Corridor, going up to St. Petersburg, Russia. So, as the dust settle, I see a lot of uh, development in the Middle East, the rivalries which are useless, actually, Shia Sunni rivalry and all these things. they are of no use. As a matter of fact, it should be recommended to the various religious heads to sit together and not the fanatic people to find out a solution. Because you see, this divide is there in every religion. There was a In 1648, there was a Westphalia tre- treaty, which ended the 30-year war or 80-year war, which was being fought by major powers of that time in Europe. That is France, Germany, Spain, Russia, Sweden. So it was primarily between the Catholics and the Protestants. And then we saw a 100-year war between the Christians and the Muslims, in which Jerusalem fell many a times. There were Christian rulers, and then the Muslim rulers came, and it has been in a constant turmoil. Then there is a Israel Arab Israel war. Now there is a Israel Iran war, and there was a Shia Sunni war between Iraq and Iran, and this area has been totally destabilized. So I think if this thing happens, it is Iran is denuclearized and Pakistan is reined in. So you will find that there will be a lot of stability and a lot of uh, prosperity. Only problem is I'm very afraid if uh, some element, some lone wolf attack happens against the United States base or its aircraft carrier group by either Houthi or by Iran itself, or if Iran attacks the oil field of Saudi Arabia or anywhere in Jordan, because Syria, Jordan, Saudi Arabia, Iraq, these are the places where all the missiles are being intercepted. There are destroyers in the eastern Mediterranean Sea also, which is giving a lot of inputs about missiles, incoming missiles from Iran to Israel. So the position is very, very delicately balanced. And any one misstep by Iran would see total decimation of Iranian population. Incidentally, in sixth, seventh, eighth, and 10th century, you found that a lot of Persians came after persecution in Iran and settled down, whom we call Parsis. And today, if you see the Tatars, the Godres, the Wadias, and the greatest person which we know, Field Marshal SFJ Manekshaw, they all belong to Persia. So, what great quality and what uh, good breed these people are. So I'm, as a matter of fact, personally speaking, very, very saddened by whatever is happening. And missiles are screaming past Bethlehem, Jerusalem. These are the places where I want to visit, because wherein you see such rich in history, these bases are getting attacked, these cities are getting attacked, and if any of the historical places get attacked, our future children may not be able to see the glory of these places. This war has to end, uh, and it has to. Israel has to be successful in removing the nuclear weapons, because a nuclear war is not won by any person. Rather, this planet would be destroyed, Rajiv.
Well, we all agreed. In fact, the entire world agrees that this war has to end. But there are two alternatives to it. Will this war end with the denuclearization, yet denuclearization of Iran, yet the regime survives, or denuclearization of Iran and the regime also goes? That is the question. Either way, India has got a lot to play diplomatically in trying to bring about a peaceful resolution of the conflict. I personally feel that the denuclearization of Iran is very much on the cards. The destruction of Fordo is just a matter of time, whether it will be done by USA's direct intervention or by some Israeli action. While the Israeli Air Force may not get into action in Fordo, considering the location of the the laboratory as such, but some kind of a commando action by Israelis to take out Fordo cannot be ruled out. But post this denuclearization of Iran, India must get involved in this region. India must use its influence to restore peace. One person who we must keep a close look inside Iran is this President Masoud Pezeshkian. He is said to be a moderate, someone who seeks to develop Iran on modern lines, someone who is willing to consider women's rights, which has been trampled upon so badly by the Mullah regime. So let's hope uh, peace returns. Let's hope saner elements like Pajes can come to the center stage. Would you like to sum it up? We've just got about a couple of minutes left.
Okay, Rajiv, what I would like to say is both the wars which have been raging for quite some time, it's very, very unusual. Both Russia and Ukraine are in the final stages. Ukraine, the West has already made a program in which Russia would also annex uh, uh, the Odessa port and make Ukraine a landlocked country. Probably they may even take Kyiv or Kiev, as they say, uh, they pronounce their capital. So east of the river Dnipro will fall to Russia, and here in west of river Dnipro may be annexed by Poland or any other NATO arrangement may be there, and there must be some kind of uh, trade deal between the United States and Russia for the rare earth minerals. Uh, so you may find a lot of multinationals rushing in from America into Ukraine for the rare earth materials. So it will be concluding like that. In Iran, I see a new regime coming up, and Fardo will fall. And I'm only hoping and praying that no nuclear exchange takes place, and the people both in Israel as well as Iran survive, because these two places are wonderful places. I remember in 1982 when the Iranian team had come, they had wonderful wrestlers and weightlifters and very good students, very good engineers. So may God have mercy on both the sides and this war comes to an end as soon as possible, Rajiv.
Thank you so much, Alice. It's always such a pleasure interacting with you. You bring so much of knowledge onto the table and so much of insights onto the table. I'm sure our viewers will have a great time watching this. Do like and subscribe our channel. I appeal once again because we want to go up in the popularity standings, extend the reach of our channel. Uh, we have to do a story on Ukraine again. I think how it is evolving. So next time when I get Colonel Beast on the line, I'd love to hear his insights on the developing scenario inside Ukraine. Thank you so much. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you and Jai Hind.